What is the territorial extent of the Hindu Marriage Act? What is the territory to which the Act extends? Does it extend throughout India or only in a part of India? Does it extend even beyond India? Answers to all these questions are available in section 1. The first paragraph says, this act extends to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. This was the position up to August 2019. Till that date, the Hindu Marriage Act extended to the whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. But what is the position now? There is a change. And the change comes from the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019, dated 9th of August 2019. This act contains entry 35 in the 5th schedule, whereby the words except the state of Jammu and Kashmir have been omitted from section 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Therefore, now the Hindu Marriage Act extends to the whole of India. The second paragraph says that this act applies also to Hindus domiciled in India who are outside India. Can an act passed by the Parliament of India have applicability outside India also? Can it apply to people who are not living in India but who are living outside India? In other words, can a law passed by Parliament have extraterritorial operation? The extent of laws made by Parliament is determined by Article 245 of the Constitution of India. Therefore, we shall have a look at this article at this stage. This is to find out the extraterritorial operation of the law, as we are seeing at this stage. Article 245 in clause 1 says that Parliament may make laws for the whole or any part of India. Here the reference is only to the whole of India or to a part of India. Can a law made by Parliament have extraterritorial operation? The answer lies in clause 2 of Article 245, which permits the Parliament to make a law which will have extraterritorial operation. It says, a law made by Parliament shall not be deemed to be invalid only on the ground that it would have extraterritorial operation. It is clause 2 of Article 245 which permits the Hindu Marriage Act to have extraterritorial operation. It is because of this that it can apply to persons who are not living in India. Now, which are these persons to whom this act will apply who are not living inside India? As far as people outside India are concerned, it will apply to only Hindus and only to those Hindus who are domiciled in India. So, we need to know what is meant by Hindus who are domiciled in India. To understand that, we must first know what is meant by domicile. So, the question now which we are now going to answer is, what is domicile? As per definition given in Craignish versus Craignish, that place is properly the domicile of a person in which his habitation is fixed. The first part is his habitation is fixed, and second part is without any present intention of removing therefrom. So there are two constituent elements here, a residence of a particular kind and an intention of a particular kind. The Supreme Court of India also had an occasion to deal with this issue in the case of Central Bank of India versus Ram Narayan in 1955. In this judgment, the court said that the law assigns what is called a domicile of origin to every person at his birth. At the time of birth, a domicile of origin is assigned to every person, and that will be the domicile of the country in which he is born. And this domicile of origin shall prevail until he acquires a new domicile, which will be known as the domicile of choice. It is a well-established proposition that every person will have a domicile even if he does not have a home. A person may not have a home, but he cannot be without a domicile. The simple reason is that he acquires a domicile of origin of the country in which he is born as soon as he is born. So he will have a domicile. We have seen that a domicile can be acquired, which is known as domicile of choice. What are the requirements of such domicile? Two things have to be established. Firstly, the person must have voluntarily fixed the habitation of himself and his family in the new country. For acquiring domicile of a country, the person must have voluntarily fixed the habitation of himself and his family in the new country. And this habitation should be not for a mere special or temporary purpose, but with the present intention of making it his permanent home. If that is the intention, and with that intention, if he has fixed his habitation in that country, then we will say he has acquired the domicile of that country. Domicile is very much different from citizenship. For acquiring domicile, only these two things are required, nothing else. So once we have understood the concept of domicile, now let us answer this question as to which persons are domiciled in India. Firstly, if a person was born in India and he has not acquired any other domicile, then he is domiciled in India. As was stated by the Supreme Court, every person will have a domicile of origin at the time of his birth. A person who is born in India will have a domicile of India at the time of birth. And if he has not acquired any other domicile, then he continues to have the domicile of India, and we will say he is domiciled in India. But if he was not born in India, then he can acquire the domicile of India, and he will be said to be domiciled in India only if he acquires this domicile. And how this domicile is to be acquired, we have already seen. Once we are clear with the definition of domicile and how a domicile of India can be acquired, we will now answer this question. Will provisions of HMA be applicable to a Hindu by religion who is living in London? Now this is a person who is living outside India, and the HMA will apply to a person living outside India only if two conditions are satisfied. Firstly, he must be a Hindu, and secondly, he must be domiciled in India. Where the question already says that he is a Hindu by religion. So now the only point to be seen is whether he is domiciled in India or not. The answer to this question will depend upon that determination. The answer will be yes if he is domiciled in India. The answer will be no if he is not domiciled in India.